Did I watch this?
Most of us on the internet are well aware of alternative reality games that make up stories of wrongdoing involving different interactive experiences. But what happens when one of these stories turns out to be true? Well, that is what we'll be discussing today. When it comes to mysteries, video games and creepypastas seem to go hand in hand. Just think about it. Some of the most popular creepypastas are based off of iconic gaming franchises, and some of the trendiest indie projects in the past decade veer in the horror territory. While there are many examples of creepypastas becoming popular based off of pre-established franchises, one thing you don't see really often is the success of urban legends based off of entirely original games. But this is exactly what we're going to be discussing today. The mystery of this creepypasta doesn't really lie in if the game is real or not, because it definitely is. Rather, people don't really know who truly is responsible for making it and why. And as mentioned previously, the name of this eerie piece of media is Sad Satan. The first evidence of this game existing would be uploaded in June of 2015, when the YouTube
That's when I was born! Or, that's the month. That's the month.
Obscure Horror Corner published the first episode of their Sad Satan Let's Play. The channel, known for playing games at the request of subscribers, was run by a man named Jamie. Much like the other Let's Plays on the channel, it was entirely narrationless, letting the gameplay speak for itself. In the description, Jamie details the circumstances of how he obtained Sad Satan, as well as other details regarding his playthrough. He claimed that he had downloaded the game from the deep web a month or so ago, and that the footage was recorded shortly thereafter. He summarized his playthrough as simply him wandering around and getting teleported to different sections of the maze, then stating that, quote, "Nothing really happened, but it has an odd feeling about it and kind of freaks me out." He then goes on to claim that he had since deleted all of the game's files off of his computer, due to a notepad document containing constantly reappearing on his desktop. He then listed the Onion link he had used to download the file, apparently having been sent the address by a subscriber. For those unaware, an Onion link is a suffix used to designate anonymous services only available through the Tor network, adding
an onion
validity to his claim. Those who attempted to use this link, however, found that the download had seemingly been taken down in the time between his download of it and the upload of his video. Focusing on the YouTube video itself, the gameplay of Sad Satan is unsettling. While, as Jamie stated, it's simply him walking through various dark corridors before being teleported, interspersed throughout these levels are what appear to be subliminal messages and strange audio files that hint towards some sort of larger theme. To start, an image of a man in a hallway.
Actually, it's turkey brisket chili. So I smoked some brisket, chopped it up, tossed it in there with the turkey. It's fucking good.
Surrounded by antlers appears. This thing causes the player's view
NFT, this pick go hard, screenshot,
to become distorted, before another image is shown of Margaret Thatcher and Jimmy Savile holding signs promoting the NSPCC.
Of course,
this is an acronym for the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children. Additionally, the video also contains an excerpt from the song Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin and Lynch Mob by KMFDM, albeit heavily distorted. The one audio clip used contains lyrics that seem to allude to the assassination of former US President John F. Kennedy, stating, "Lynch mob, pigs in a motorcade, bearing down on you like birds of prey, in for the kill, law of the gun, deer in the headlights on the run." 2 days after his first video, Jamie posted episode 2 of his Let's Play series, and then submits the video to the Creepy Gaming subreddit. Looking at his Reddit history, it seems that he had been quite an active member of the community in the past, so that wasn't out of the ordinary. And this would also spawn the first discussions of the game. Most of the comments were people just asking for a download link, though there were still a few interesting replies. For example, one commenter speculates that the game's title could have come from a backwards message that people commonly hear in the song Stairway to Heaven, which, considering the song's presence, seems to hold true. Also worth mentioning is a comment thread between Jamie and a user named Sir Chrome, worried about
Did you guys ever do that? Like, what was the meme back then? Where they, like, reverse songs? And then they, like, tried to, like, form some sort of, like, demonic message behind it. Oh, my God, it says, kill yourself when it goes around. That means I'm gonna die. Remember that shit? People freaked out about that. Oh, yeah, for the Barney theme and stuff? Yeah. Like, if you just take a kid's song and reverse it. Oh, my God. It says I'm the imposter. Does that mean I'm getting voted out?
Continuing to watch the video due to its origin, Jamie assures him that there are no corpses or CP, if that's what you mean. This part 2 of the Let's Play is unsurprisingly very similar to the first. You'll notice quickly that the actual gameplay of Sad Satan is rather bare bones, with many viewers criticizing it for being a walking simulator. 52 seconds into this part, a Chinese propaganda song infamous for its usage in the game Hong Kong 97 is played backwards. Then an image of JFK moments before his assassination appears on screen. Next, a slowed down and pitched down Adolf Hitler's speech is played, followed by a depiction of Baphomet. The Baphomet is a symbol from the
Okay, this is fucking lazy, man. Come on. This is lazy as shit. Distorted Adolf Hitler, John F. Kennedy, a picture of a demon. Let's just throw random shit in there.
14th century that has since been heavily associated with occultism and the Church of Satan. The song that plays during this jump scare is, once again, Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven.
No!
Finally, a little girl appears in front of the player. We're then shown the model up close, in which it's revealed that the girl has a graphic, mangled face. She then screams and the player is surrounded by 6 children in a circle. The exact nature of the creator's usage of all these different songs and symbols was still up for debate, with viewers confused as to what exactly he could have been getting at. Some theorize that this was all connected to the Illuminati. In the comments, many
Come on. Come on, man. Really? This is a big fucking stretch. It's some fucking loser who made a lazy game, threw it together, said he got it off the dark web, never gave a download link, posted it on a creepy subreddit, so a bunch of losers could spend their lives trying to figure out the deeper meanings behind the game when it was made by just a loser who just wanted to meme.
Fear that due to the supposed deep web
okay, if something insane happens later on, I am saying this early, so something better might happen.
The screams could have been extracted from actual murder tapes. Thankfully, the source of the cries was tracked down, and it was confirmed to be stock sound effects. While the second episode saw more attention than the first, interest in the game wouldn't erupt until July 1st, when Kotaku wrote an article about the playthrough. Entitled, "A Horror Game That May Be Hidden in the Darkest Corners," it contained a wealth of new information due to the writer speaking directly with Jamie. In the article, Jamie describes his experience playing the game as being perplexing. In response to the author asking about the notepad files that kept reappearing, he stated this: "I unfortunately have no screenshots of the notepad files. They were genuinely gibberish text. It didn't seem to be in any language, just symbols and numbers really. I did notice 666 a few times, which fits, I guess, consider
obscure text that no one can understand." check that one off the list.
During the title of the game, Jamie claimed that he had no idea who created the game and said that he hoped to learn more by sharing the videos. Interestingly, the journalist also interviewed the subscriber who had supposedly sent Jamie the game, though their name isn't disclosed due to privacy concerns. According to the subscriber, the file originated from an all-purpose deep web forum, where video games were rather uncommon. They state that the post promoting the game was vague. They did, however, sign off the post with the initials ZK, which the commenter recognized due to them being quite active in other threads. They described his other comments as being quote-unquote satanic mumbo-jumbo, though they never elaborated further than that. In the writer's own investigation within the article, she was unable to find any definitive references to the game predating Jamie's playthrough, though she did find one potentially related video called Sad Satan from 2013, uploaded by an account named
Hey yo! What about Downtown Nacho? We're just going to ignore Downtown Nacho? Like, I know the video's about Sad Satan, but fuck Downtown Nacho, dude.
video called Sad Satan from 2013. Uploaded by an account named Scareburr, its description simply reads, "Follow the trail." The video is a surreal reenactment of an unspecified violent act, though to be honest, it's quite difficult to make sense of. It constantly cuts to close-up shots of a man in a ski mask. This was apparently a music video for a song the uploader had composed, probably by the same name. To this day, the validity of this connection is unknown, though it's likely that the name is simply a reference to the Stairway to Heaven backmask. The vague description, however, is still very suspect, as it's unknown what trail he could be referring to. After the article was published, a master thread was started on the creepy gaming subreddit to contain speculation about the topic. With dozens of users carefully re-watching and analyzing each video, their first course of action was attempting to identify every single piece of subliminal audio and imagery used, as well as discuss the potential motives of the creator. At this point, the source of the Antler Man image was found, pinning the man in the hallway as Franz Joseph, a prince that had a collection of over 2,000 deer antlers. The exact implications of the image are still unclear, with users speculating that it may have some relation to the man's apparent Nazi history or the occult. A picture of Margaret Thatcher and Jimmy Savile holding NSPCC signs is seen.
NFTs? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I had to. All right.
A reference to the accusations of sexual abuse against Savile that surfaced shortly after his death in 2011, with him now deemed a predatory sex offender by Scotland Yard. Thatcher's inclusion in this photograph, as opposed to being cropped out, is thought to be a critique of the fact that the elite in the country protected him. As the conspiracies started rolling in, a third episode of the playthrough had been released, with more people than ever before following the case. Firstly, coded...
That's the worst pronunciation of my name I've ever heard. Okay. Algs. You're welcome.
Messages over a white background appear throughout the gameplay. Also present are reversed audio clips of Charles Manson stating that if he started murdering people, there would be no one left. We then hear a gargled, slowed down recording of radio, which when reversed is revealed to be a Russian man reading out a list of numbers. This is followed by more assorted clips of Charles Manson, along with the song I Love Beijing Tiananmen played once again. The repeated uses of this Chinese propaganda song led internet detectives to the oddity that is Hong Kong 97 on the Super Nintendo. This was a bootleg game made in 2 days by a journalist in the 90s, but the weird thing about it comes in the form of the game's game over screen, in which it shows a forensic photograph of an actual dead body riddled with bullet holes. The photograph's origin has never been determined, happened, and the developer of the game refuses to disclose where the image came from. So it's possible that the creator of Sad Satan saw this mystery and wanted viewers to think that he had that info. Moving on to the 3rd of July, episode 4 of the playthrough was released. The video begins with a photo of a man with his eyes and mouth crossed out. This photo is a mugshot of the infamous Otaku Killer, a Japanese child predator. At around 54 seconds in, a photograph of the Lady of Justice appears.
Wasn't there a movie based on that guy?
Bruh.
Or what was it? What am I thinking of? I've heard of the Otaku Killer before. Any truthers in chat? Any fact checkers? Any knowers? Any believers? Poopy my pants. That's... I'm asking for help and you hit me with a poopy my pants. This is the people who watch me. All right. And literally no one is answering my question. Hello? Are you guys there? The movie Elvis covered? What, did he cover it? Man, if I had help from my chat, this would be a lot easier.
Bruh.
What was the question again? Was there a movie based on it? I'm sorry, what do you need? I don't need anything. I'm just trying to figure this out. Did he make a video on it? What am I thinking of? Ichi the Killer. I think that's what I saw. Okay, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind.
At 3 minutes and 2 seconds, the player encounters a child staring at a wall, while the text, "Stop doing this," appears on screen. Next, the Otaku Killer's mugshot is shown once again, this time without the censors. Finally, a picture of a guy surrounded by children is shown. The man in question is TV actor Rolf Harris, who was charged with 12 counts of indecent assault in 2014.
Why? Like... Hey, let's put a game and just get a bunch of pictures of criminals and dudes who did terrible things and just throw them in there randomly. Why?
And whose trial was heavily associated with Jimmy Savile. When this episode was published, speculation regarding the series' genuineness only furthered. At this point, users were able to identify that the software used to create it was the Unity-based Terror engine. They were also getting suspicious due to inconsistencies with the flow of information. Remember, these videos were supposedly a single experience. Also, many of the newly introduced clues just didn't seem to connect with the old ones.
Things they know in a game without making any sense, for example, and people are masturbating on it like it was art. Exactly. I hate... It's literally modern art. It's the equivalent of that, where if someone makes it a big deal, like if someone wants to, like something that doesn't make sense or isn't supposed to make sense and doesn't make sense, people will literally tear their brains apart to try to make sense of something that doesn't make sense. Like, let's take an example of the Zodiac Killer. Most people agree that it's probably him just making random symbols and everyone's spending their entire life trying to figure it out, when in reality, it's probably nothing. You know what I mean? Thank you, Last God X. For the tier 1. Star Wars fans also like this game. I don't know what I'm doing, so you won't be able to solve it either. Yeah, like how are they going to be able to solve something if the person who was writing it didn't even know what they were doing?
Have been completely dropped at this point, in favor of the overwhelming theme of child abuse. Many logistical questions regarding the gameplay also caused even the owner of the thread to cast doubt. He states this in one of his replies. Trends of things happening change between episodes. Like you hear Manson a ton in one episode and not at all in the other episodes. Also, how did we see a picture in the exact first frame of part 4? There's no way it would just line up like that.
What? Dude, people are literally bending their brains to make sense of this.
Some have also claimed that the Let's Player might have contradicted himself through his multiple statements. At first claiming he had found the game himself on the deep web, while later posting that he had been sent it by a subscriber. Curiously, around this time, the uploader of the Sad Saiyan video returned after seemingly years of inactivity to state, "I assume everyone here wants the game," though it seemed that he was just playing along with the hype. Speculation of this mystery got popular enough to the point that the thread's creator felt it was time to expand the community into its own subreddit. The original text of the thread has since been lost to time, being replaced with a link to the new community.
Dude, that's something, is that weird that I think about that? What if he did that? What if he hit him with the, "Would you kindly come up here and put your penis in my mouth"? Like, what if he did that? He'd be fucked.
Form. On the 5th of July, the 5th episode of the Let's Play was uploaded.
Looks like I got
the final video in Jamie's series. In this part, an image of the film director Roman Polanski appears, who was arrested for sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl in 1977. What makes his appearance in the game even more interesting is that his pregnant wife was murdered by the Manson family. Considering how prevalent Charles Manson is in the game, it's unlikely that this was unintentional.
Dude, this is literally like an edgy kid who is just like posting like trauma porn. You know what I mean? Like just posting like depressing porn.
In this area, the player comes across another girl, though this time she chases him. The video ends with a slowed down and reversed music track playing, as the player appears to have gotten trapped in the room. It's not 100% confirmed what happened in the rest of Jamie's playthrough, though most believe he stopped uploading because at this point his story started to fully unravel. Firstly, users began digging into his Reddit history, where they discovered that in November he had begun discussing interest in developing his own horror game. On top of this, they noticed that despite him claiming to be a spectator, he never actually speculated along with the community. Suspicious behavior if he was truly interested in learning more. One Redditor wrote, "It is also possible that Jamie is acting in concert with the creator for marketing purposes. The Obscure Horror Corner channel's other videos have relatively low view counts, while the Sad Saiyan videos are much higher. Also, the subscriber count has
So he did it for views.
Jumped significantly in the last few days. So Jamie is benefiting directly. But by far the most damning piece of evidence would be revealed on 4chan when a user definitively proved that the onion link Jamie had included in the description never worked. He figured this out when he noticed that there was a number 9 in the URL, which doesn't make sense since onion URLs only use digits between 2 through 7. Sure.
I mean, I knew that. Like, you guys knew that, right?
Thereafter, Jamie
I caught that in the beginning. Did I miss the Barnyard gameplay? Yes. You can go back and watch it. I'll probably play more tomorrow, but the Barnyard, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. There's probably new people here. 2 new people here. Barnyard was so glitchy, and it actually caused like legitimate epilepsy type shit. So I didn't want to, end up hurting someone from epilepsy shit. So, I'm still on Barnyard the game,
on July 7th, 2 days after the 5th episode had been uploaded, the Kotaku writer, who was one of the first to break the story, updated her article to discuss allegations that the story had been faked. She writes, "People sent me a variety of rationales for and against the possibility that Sad Saiyan came from the deep web, some valid, others not. What stood out to me was the allegation that the deep web link provided in the YouTube description for the initial video contained the number 9, which is a number that is unlikely to be found in onion links." She then reveals that she had questioned Jamie about this discrepancy herself.
I
contacted Jamie, the proprietor of Obscure Horror Corner, to ask what was going on with the link. He now says he gave people the wrong link because the real one had, he claims, also included gore pictures and CP, along with the game. I didn't feel comfortable giving out a link for something like that. He did not share the link with me. Unfortunately, that makes it harder for me to put as much credence into the rest of his account. Jamie's answer can be somewhat plausible until you remember that he specifically stated in one of the original threads that there was no gore or CP. To many, this...
Okay, chat. It's going to get better, right? We're going downhill from here? Okay. We'll see. All right. I'll believe it. What a waste of time. Well, okay, we watched halfway through together as a couple, as a unit, as a group. We're going to finish this together, all right?
This was the final nail in the coffin and proved to many commenters that Sad Satan was nothing more than a ploy for attention, accusing Jamie of having created the game himself, and this was nothing more than yet another stupid alternative reality game. But then, something happened that no one could have predicted. The game leaked to the public. This turned
It was the Barnyard. Dude, honestly, Barnyard was more of a scary game than this is, I'm not gonna lie.
Was for many just a fun mystery into real criminal acts. We'll learn more about this after a brief word from our sponsor.
You bitch! Okay, I'm sorry. One second. I forgot to timestamp. I'll do it after. Oh well. I thought we were playing Barnyard. Guys, okay. Listen. We were playing Barnyard, but unfortunately, the game was glitching so bad that I was worried it would cause epilepsy in people who have it. And there were even people saying they couldn't even watch it because it was so bad. Because it was really bad. I played it for a good hour, like hour and a half. After my stream's over, you could either watch the VOD or you could go look at the clips and stuff. Because it was a fun time. I literally squirted all over chat. I squirted all over every cow, every pig. I squirted everywhere. So it was good. It was a fun time.
Doubts on its existence. Posted on 4chan by the supposed ZK, which originally posted it on the deep web form, provided a mega link to download the game saying, "What you've seen on YouTube isn't right. Don't believe that coward obscure horror corner. He did not show you what was truly in this game." At first believed to simply be a hoax, this file turned out to be legit, and many users on both Reddit and 4chan began investigating. Within seconds of launching Sad Satan, a corpse appears on the main menu, a screen that Jamie claimed never existed. And as the game continued progressing, 4 different images of gore as well as CP would flash on screen. Elements that weren't present in Jamie's playthrough. In fact, as they continued to sift through the download, they noticed that many of the files from the original playthrough didn't seem present here. Things would only get worse upon the discovery that the creator possibly loaded the game up with malware, as users began complaining of their computers running sluggishly after playing it. There were even reports of the game supposedly deleting users' BIOS.
Well, that was a jump.
This release caused interest in the game to explode. It became the next big topic for horror-oriented Let's Play channels. Naive Twitch streamers were tricked into playing the true version of the game and foolishly showing uncensored dead bodies on stream.
Oh no! Why would you do that? Dude, you don't download a random file and just no. Oh no.
At this point, the mythos of Sad Satan had gone well beyond an innocent creepypasta tale from the deep web. Whoever had created this so-called true version had potentially distributed malware as well as explicit
we all
pictures of
believe
minors,
open nuts now.
making them a literal criminal. This has led many to theorize who is responsible for Sad Satan in the first place. Theory number 1. Jamie was telling the truth and ZK is real. To be honest, there's not a lot to support this theory. Not only was Jamie's story full of holes and inconsistencies, but the fake onion link just made it seem implausible to most. But assuming Jamie was telling the truth and he had actually removed the gore from the videos, why wouldn't he disclose this? For someone who supposedly uploaded the video to Signal Boost, he certainly misled people trying to help. Theory number 2. Jamie was lying, but the clone was a troll. Back in 2015, this was the most popular narrative, that even though Jamie had made the entire deep web story up, he had been undeservedly targeted by a troll on 4chan who thought it'd be funny to make it.
He thought it'd be funny to post child porn and dead bodies. Is that trolling? Do you call that trolling? Is that the equivalency of people saying we do a little bit of trolling? Is a CP and dead bodies? Got him. Am I right, guys? We got him.
A clone to get him in trouble, and there are many reasons to point towards this being the case.
Yo, thank you so much, Moto Kurk. This timing is very awkward, but the time, yeah.
Firstly, as mentioned before,
I get it,
the
but
game
thank you. I
lacks
appreciate
many
the 5
of the
months.
resources seen and heard in the original playthrough. In fact, it only maintains a handful, which is suspicious, because if this were the same copy of the game from the videos,
4chan's
it should
equivalent
include
of a little
previously
trolling,
unidentified sources that could confirm its validity. Instead, it only includes a handful of confirmed images. Additionally, Sad Satan itself is an extremely simple game, so creating a clone wouldn't be very difficult logistically speaking. It consists.
I just want to say this is a very accurate representation of what this video was. Interested, getting a little bit more interested, and then we're like, oh, okay, this is fucking stupid. Like, wait a second.
It's almost entirely of built-in plugins and stock sounds and textures. And because its gameplay boils down to walking through a maze while scary images appear on the screen, it's not impossible to believe a troll went through the effort of recreating visuals for a laugh. There are also many discrepancies between the two
How
versions.
is it a laugh? Why are we glossing over the CP and the dead bodies? Where is the laughing?
That seem to imply it had been produced relatively quickly. Whether he was responsible or not, upon the 4chan link going up, people began reporting the case to
version of a
authorities,
laugh?
and Jamie began breaking character in response to the leak because of this. On July 9th, a thread was posted to the Sad Satan subreddit titled, "Processing What's Happened So Far." Almost uncharacteristically, Jamie finally began to defend himself, realizing that the situation had escalated beyond his control. "I didn't make the clone. I honestly don't care what everyone thinks about the rest of this, but the clone has nothing to do with me. I know everyone thinks I made Sad Satan,
Self-incrimination is
but
peak
making a
humor.
file
What do you mean?
containing
Okay, fair
CP
enough.
and a virus is on a whole new level to that. The thing that makes me so angry about this is that my full name has been used by some people in videos about the game, and some of the write-ups. I'm not just an anonymous YouTuber now. My reputation is being damaged by this clone." With how passionate he seems to be in these replies, it's hard not to give him the benefit of the doubt. But, as you may have seen coming, we have to discuss the possibility of him being guilty, which leads us to theory number 3. Jamie made the game and the clone. Well, there's a lot of circumstantial evidence pointing to the clone being made by a troll. There's also a lot pointing to Jamie having made the clone himself as well. Firstly, the post on 4chan attempts to roleplay within the lore Jamie had written for the Kotaku article, which is melodramatic. Why would a troll do this? Secondly, both the dates and logs of the files seem to point towards the game being an altered version of the one seen in the videos. Many of the files in the true version were last modified in April and May, when Jamie had supposedly downloaded the game from the dark web. Meanwhile, all the gore and pornography images were dated to July 4th. So if—
But why is no one, like, talking about the gore and the CP? I'm so confused. Why is everyone acting like it's a troll?
quickly made clone as claims, why had all these files been prepared ahead of time? There's also a time discrepancy as well. The Kotaku article's update is dated to 1:45 p.m. and at the time the author had been living in San Francisco, California, which put the update's published date at 3:45 p.m. CST. Why is this important? Well, the 4chan leak is dated at 1:27 p.m. CST, a little over 2 hours before the new update was released. So coincidentally, right before Jamie's mention of the game containing gore and CP is published, the troll just so happens to come out and release his own version of the game also containing gore and CP. The true
Has anyone ever heard of a VPN?
smoking gun of this theory, however, was when people investigated the output logs of the clone, found in the documents folder. They discovered that in the files of the game, there were references to the creator's computer directory. And as you can see here, the user who created the game had an account named Jamie. And Jamie's only response to all this was that he could have been framed, that it was possible that someone used a tool to edit the dates and doctor the logs. Now, if Jamie had made the true version using the original, why did the game lack so many of the original resources? Well, for one, the benefit of verification goes both ways. It's possible that Jamie purposefully removed the files so he had a level of plausible deniability. But it's also possible that many of these resources had been added in post using editing. Remember in episode 4, an image of the otaku killer appears on screen for only a few frames of the video? This is a logistical improbability and evidence of splicing. Splicing can also be seen in some of Jamie's other Let's Play series, such as the one where he plays the DOS game Toymaker. In that series, he's been accused of inserting images in an extremely similar manner to Sad Satan, though it was much more apparent due to his claim of the game running on DOS. Despite...
Okay, so, let me get this right. A dude made a game that's creepy for clicks to get people talking. And then someone released something that had dead bodies and CP on it. And everyone's calling him a troll. But also the possibility is there's the dude who made both of them. Okay.
Now it's time to walk away. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Did you laugh or cry or maybe subscribe? I'll thank you either way. You know I will miss you. I hope you return. Tell your friend or your mother to get me more views.